Hey, mom, do you ever like yell at your kids and think, I never wanted to be this way? Or I always thought that I would be a more loving mom, a more kind mom. But at the end of the day, the kids drive you crazy and you end up yelling or doing something that you don't like. And I get that because I remember thinking, when I'm a mom, I'm going to be so kind and so nice and so loving that my kids will skip terrible twos and teenage rebellion. It was almost like I didn't believe that those labels existed if you could parent in a certain way. So before I became a mom, I started reading parenting books, conscious parenting, gentle parenting, balanced parenting, attachment parenting, and they're all based on authoritative parenting. You might learn to be a little bit more patient and kind than some books or whatever, but the basics is the same. Make sure to correct your child doing something wrong in the moment by doing something they don't like, by either redirecting their behavior, taking something away, putting them in a timeout, or getting in their face on eye level and lecturing them about why you're taking their favorite toy away. But I mean, if these things worked, so then why would the majority of our children have labels like ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, sensory processing disorder, conduct disorder, DMDD, anxiety, depression, terrible twos, horrific threes, teenage rebellion? I could go on. I could probably talk about 100 different labels that our kids have. So if the parenting styles that we've all learned that have been ingrained in our DNA actually work to produce champions, then why is this happening? Have you ever wondered that before? Have you ever wondered why being nice and kind and gentle is kind of backfiring? There is a cause, there's a reason for that. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Champions aren't born, they are created. And I need to say that oppositional defiant disorder kids weren't born that way either. They were created. When I was reading all these books and dealing with 4 kids who were wrecking my house, who were constantly asking for things, constantly arguing. I was a personal development speaker and a leader to like a lot of people, very successful in business, going home to my secret nightmare. And I've done things that I'm not very proud of. Things where I would make an excuse because the kids give me no choice but to yell at them, but to grab them by their arm and throw them in their room, but to completely ignore them. I mean, gosh, man, I've tried everything: tickling, being kind, yelling, bribing, threatening, uh, whatever, you name it. I've done it. I've tried it. And in 2011, I bring that up because that's the year that I found the solutions. But just before I was just like a lot of you. I was overwhelmed and frustrated, exhausted. I felt completely unappreciated on my bathroom floor in fetal position, like wishing my kids' life away, thinking things I never thought I would ever think about my kids. And today I cry every day reading your posts. How you have a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old who's driving you crazy and how you just want to give up. Maybe you have a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old that you get called from the school every day because they keep breaking the rules and you want to give up, but you can't give up because what are you going to do? Can't just throw your kid out with the bathwater and go, I'm done. Can't send them back where they came from. But you know what you can do? You can send them to some sort of treatment center, which a lot of parents end up doing because they think something's wrong with the kids. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to spread a very imperative message. If you're open, if you've been praying to God for an answer, there is an answer. And it means that we need to completely transform. We need to go on a transformative journey ourselves. You need to go on a transformative journey and completely change everything that you believe about being a parent, everything that you know about being a parent. And we need to learn some new things. We need to learn how to create champions. We need to learn how to validate, how to role play, how to be proactive in our parenting plans, how to guide our children to their greatness, how to see their uniqueness and breathe life into them so they can become a somebody. Because trying to become somebody that you want them to be is the main cause of oppositional defiant disorder. And these other behavior disorders are children from the same root, just showing the effects in different ways. And this is a really imperative message because this is the majority of our children. I mean, think about this. You might not even know this, but the number one cause of death for teenagers today is fentanyl. They're overdosing on drugs. They're self-medicating and dying. The second cause of death for teenagers is suicide. Like, this isn't something that we want to talk about or you maybe necessarily want to hear, but it is happening. And I think that the truth will set you free, because when you know the truth, when you know that everything that we've been taught about parenting is completely off the mark and the cause of all of the chaos and disharmony, then you might be open up to actually learning a new way. And that's why people come to us. They come to Creating Champions for Life. And yes, I've been where you are, but now I have what you want, which is harmony, kids who are self-sufficient and goal-oriented and successful and kind, and who see me as their trusted advisor, who tell me everything. I mean, they tell me everything, like more than I even want to hear sometimes. Isn't that what you want? Because I found the solutions in 2011 through a gentleman who was a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo and ran an after school program for eventually thousands of kids that he called Creating Champions for Life. And that philosophy would have died with him in his classroom if I hadn't seen it with my own kids completely transform, all 4 of them, all different ages, all different mental health issues. And now we have hundreds of testimonials and dozens of families, and every single parent who engages with Creating Champions for Life sees a positive transformation. So, I mean, if you want to hold on to the truth that something's wrong with your kids and live in that and be the victim and complain to society about how horrific your kids are, keep doing what you're doing. But if you've been praying for another way and you're open to learning and you would love to do anything it took, because it's not going to be easy. This is not an easy pill. This isn't like read a book and the next day everything changes. This is going to take some work. This is going to take some change. This is going to take almost like a caterpillar in a cocoon struggling to get out to become a butterfly. It's that kind of change, it's that kind of transformation. But I promise you, if you do it, you get everything that you want, everything that you've ever dreamed of as a mom. And that's the truth. There is a way, it exists, but you're not going to find it at your doctor's office because they don't even know the cause of oppositional defiant disorder. But when you see it, you can't unsee it. So I want to invite you to come join our group, see our profile, subscribe to our channel, see our biography, wherever you're watching this video. I'll click the link there and come join our free community or whatever it is that you might be ready for, and learn all you can about Creating Champions for Life to give yourself and your children a chance at a brighter future. I'm Bonnie Liotta, and until we meet again, here's to your parenting success.